In Asia, mainland Chinese shares declined on Friday, with the Shanghai Composite slipping 1.2% to 3,086.4, and the Shenzhen Composite also declined 1.33% to 1,665.8. Meanwhile, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index shed about 0.1% in its final hour of trading. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 declined 0.22%, while the Topix also slipped 0.15%. Finishing the day at 1,617.93. In South Korea, the Kospi declined 0.51%. Australia bucked the overall downward trend as the ASX 200 rose marginally, closing at 6,385.6. And in the U.S., stock index futures were slightly lower this morning as market participants prepared for another influx of corporate earnings and awaited key economic data. The Dow futures slipped 27 points, while futures on the S&P and Nasdaq were both seen marginally lower. Official U.S. GDP data is expected to be published today, with consumer sentiment figures for April set to follow slightly later in the session. Now, oil prices are lower today on hopes that the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries will soon raise outputs to make up for a decline in exports from Iran after a tightening of sanctions on Tehran. Despite this, oil markets remain tight amid supply disruptions and rising geopolitical concerns, especially over the tensions between the United States and Iran. Brent crude futures were at $74.16 per barrel, down 19 cents, while U.S. crude futures were at $64.83 per barrel, of course 38 cents lower from the previous settlement. Staying with the commodities market, gold prices were higher as signs of weak global growth rekindled investor interest in the safe haven metal, keeping it on track for its first weekly gain in 5. Spot gold was up 0.1% at $1,278.66 an ounce, while U.S. gold futures edged up 0.2% to $1,280.60 an ounce. Among other precious metals, silver was up 0.3% at $14.98, while platinum rose 0.8% to $889.85. Palladium fell 0.2% to $1,412.43 an ounce. Away from the numbers now, the new National Microfinance Bank, jointly owned by the Bankers Committee, NIPOS, and the Central Bank Risk Agency called NERSAL, may lead to the transformation of many existing microfinance institutions into agency banks. NERSAL Microfinance Bank targets 5% credit to farmers, youths and women, and other small enterprises that are currently excluded from the operations of licensed financial institutions. The National Coordinating Consultant of NERSAL, Mr. Steve Ogido, gave more details about the new bank and the opening of the Central Bank's annual conference for business editors and finance journalists in Gombe on Thursday.
The channels funds to the informal sector, mostly in the rural areas, often overlooked in credit targeting. That is why when we started running the 7 branches, the branch in Abuja is put at Gwagwalada, not in the city center. And we pick Lokoja, then we pick Bauchi, we pick Port Harcourt, we pick Ibadan, and we pick Enugu, because those are the traditional zonal capitals. And it is envisaged that it will have 36 state capital branches. These 36 grade A state capital branches will give birth to 2 grade B branches, and with that we cover the 109 senatorial districts in Nigeria. Can we move forward? Now, what is our strategy? The business strategy is to serve farmers, MSMEs, rural population, and the excluded sector of the economy. And quite a number of government agencies are coming in. Last week, we had a meeting with the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. There's a lot of window within the Ministry of Women Affairs. The banks are collecting the money from the ministry. They are not disbursing the loans to the women and the disadvantaged groups. The ministry is coming back with this money and saying, Niger Microfinance Bank, take this money. This is our target. The rural women, the disadvantaged women in this location, use your technology to deploy the money to them. Many other government agencies are doing the same thing. Then we want to reach targets through innovative products and services, deploying appropriate technology. Everything will be done online within the bank system, and we are using fintech to be able to drive the strategy. Then we want to serve the 774 local governments in Nigeria in the most effective and efficient way. through branch network and agency banking. The thinking is that we all know if you have 774 branches and you have at least 4 staff in those branches, the staff salary alone will wipe out your entire profit. So what we have done is to have 120 branches. That is the brick and mortar branches. The remaining 664 branches thereabout, those ones will be driven by the agents. And what is the agents going to be? For example, pick Gombe. In Gombe, you are going to have the Gombe branch, then you are going to have 2 other branches in the senatorial district. In the local government, there are some financial service providers, the MFBs, microfinance institutions. Some microfinance banks also, they are going to come to NISA Microfinance Bank and they say, okay, we want to take your agency in this local government and we are going to tell them the rules and regulations and they are going to pay to be able to fly the flag of NISA Microfinance Bank in those local governments. What is in it for them? If you come to buy the agency of the bank, you may be a petrol station, you may be a supermarket. We are going to give you the stationery, we are going to give you the branding, we are going to give you everything. For those things you have been given, you will pay some money, which will be decided. And then you will be able to recollect the loans that the bank has disbursed in those areas. And then you have a margin for yourself. And the possibility of wholesale lending, depending on how you utilize your own fund, you may get a loan of 10 million, 20 million, and then use this loan to serve the people in that locality and come. What are we gaining? We are not spending 1 kobo on staff cost because the agent is going to be paying his own staff. We are not going to spend a lot of money on physical monitoring because we are going to monitor you online. And we are going to put controls in place to be able to see what you are doing so that you now become partner in the business. Everybody, those who are criticizing are believing that the bank is going to drive them out of the market, they are going to become agents of the bank.
We'll get a wrap-up of market activities in South Africa when we return in a moment. Please stay with us.